a business should be profitable. Because if it's not profitable, it's not a business. Maraming entrepreneurs, basta kumikita ako, I will survive. If you don't manage cash flow, you can be profitable but you end up closing your company.
How do you take care of people?
Recruit someone that will complement your weakness. There's a principle, when wealth is scattered, people gather. Ang taong walang trabaho, hindi magaling yan.
If someone wants to get into the e-commerce space, how can they start?
Sa akin, entrepreneurship is a calling. Not everyone is called to be entrepreneurs. Know where you are called. So ang tanong ko, where has God called you in your life?
I want to deep dive on that, and I want to kind of like dissect that because as someone who's like first year in like a traditional business, I've been a solopreneur like for almost 5 years na. Pero first time learning about the ropes of business, like accounting, mga HR, like business stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of times that I get so caught up in the revenue, profit, ganyan, that parang I'm in the business that I forget that meron palang purpose level into doing this. Like aside from that, ano pa yung difference ng, maybe you can share in your story as well, nung time na okay, dati pera-pera lang, ngayon faith-based businesses na to.
I'm gonna share you a framework. The 4 P's.
Mhm.
So gusto mo malaman?
gusto ko
Gusto ba
yan.
nila marinig yung 4 P's?
We love frameworks here at the Small Talk. Yeah.
Okay, number 1, a business should be profitable. Because if it's not profitable, it's not a business.
Mhm.
It could be a ministry, it could be an advocacy, it could even be a party,
Mhm.
or even a hobby. Diba? So sa akin, lahat ng negosyo needs to be profitable because profit will sustain the business.
Mm.
Number 2, after profit is purpose.
Okay.
No? Nakita mo hindi ko inuna yung purpose, inuna ko yung profit.
Yeah. Why?
Di ba? Di ba? Most people will
Bakit?
say, kasi hindi siya negosyo kung hindi siya kumikita eh.
Okay.
Wala ka rin, hindi mo na yung magagawa yung purpose na you intend to be because you're not running a business if it's not profitable.
Yeah. Okay.
Ulitin.
Question lang. Kasi for me, that's a mindset that I feel like stopping me as well. Growing up, I felt like I was called to do a purposeful life.
Well, I am called to
Yes.
I am called to do a very purposeful life, but I'm sharing to you, the profit is just the fuel for you to be able to get your purpose. So that's a major difference, no? So for example, kasi purpose natin pwede iba-iba eh.
Mhm.
'Di ba? Pero para sa akin, uplifting lives through the digital economy. I want to help digitalize the Philippines. That's our battle cry. That's my mission in life, no? So, and very passionate about it. That's my purpose. Now, for me to be able to do that purpose, I need to have a profitable vehicle so that I'll be able to do my purpose. And number 3, I will be able to bless my people. That's the third P. And number 4, I'll be able to assist my planet.
Wow.
So, profit, purpose, people, planet. Yan yung framework. So, when we make decision, okay, gagawin natin negosyo na to. Okay, will it be profitable? Clear ba yung business model? Yes. Kung yes, align ba siya sa purpose natin? O hindi? Baka mamaya, sige, profitable gumawa ng laundry shop.
Yeah.
Ano kinalaman yun sa digital economy? Di ba? So we won't go into those kind of things because it's not part of our purpose. Di ba? So number 3, sabihin ng tao ko, we have business decision to make. We'll be able to bless our people. Okay, we can maximize profit, but sa akin, I don't need to maximize profit. I can just optimize it so that I'll be able to bless my people.
When you say
assist our plan.
people,
Employees, syempre, our shareholders,
yeah.
yan yung mga people.
How do you maximize? So for example, itong business na to. Before, okay, masaya, mataas ang profit. And then overhead, medyo tumaas. Then it become a non-profitable kind of month. Dumating ang isang buwan, medyo wala tayong profit. I don't know, it's my first year in business. Is this normal? Or there's something wrong with the business model? Like what should I be looking at?
Okay. So, ibabalik ko yung tanong sa'yo, Alec. Anong importante? Revenue? Or what I mean, sales? Cash flow? Or profit?
mean, all are important, but
Hindi to trick question.
Okay.
Ah.
I think, I mean, based on the 4 frameworks, sa scenario mo, I think it's profit.
No.
Really?
Okay. So, itong problema, maraming Pilipino, maraming entrepreneurs think, basta kumikita ako, I will survive. But the number one killer of businesses is cash flow.
What?
And what
Okay.
is cash flow?
Money coming in consistently.
So, what's cash flow
And
and what's
going
sales? So, iba rin yan, di ba? Kaya nga tinanong ko, what's important? All of these are vital data that you need. But if you don't manage cash flow, you can be profitable but you end up closing your company.
What?
Tingnan mo. Kumikita ako, pero hindi ako nakasingil. Wala na akong pang sweldo sa tao. Ano mangyayari? Alis yung tao mo, tama?
Yeah.
Oh. Pero in the books, kumita ka. Pero hindi mo pa nasisingil. Kasi may baon na hirap ka sa accounts receivable mo.
Yeah.
Sample for your client. Tama,
yeah.
hindi. It
Tama.
happens.
Yes.
Tama.
Yes,
So,
may ipit.
may benta ka, may kita ka, pero wala kang cash.
Yeah. Kasi ngayon
So,
na nagpapaikot na ng pera.
number one thing, cash flow is the bloodline of business. So if you want to learn more,
Again, it can be found here. It's gonna be our new guiding principles in terms of business. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Sinabi na yun ni Alec pero hindi na ako nagsabi. Pero yung cash flow dito, wala pa yan.
Ay, wala
diyan.
pa. Sa second book ni Sir Steve, doon niya pag-uusapan ang cash flow and all. Okay.
But we do discuss this on a very thorough level on our mentorship program.
Okay.
Kasi ano yun vital nga yun eh.
Yeah.
And I've seen it so many times. Businesses that doesn't manage their cash flow, wala.
Okay. Sige.
Kasi alam mo, pwede kang malugi na isang taon, pero kung may passive cash flow ka, pwede kang masustain. Baka blind blown ka na. No?
Ngayon na sinasabi mo siya, it does make sense. Oo nga, no?
Di ba?
Oo nga, no? Okay. Fudge.
Tapos
Okay,
yung sinasabi parang, this is investment year, that's why nalulugi pa tayo. Pero kung may passive cash flow ka, buhay ka.
What? Okay.
So even for my, I do a lot of, so I always teach them, importante muna cash flow positive ka. Yun ang habulin mo. So anong klaseng business model yan that will bring in the money, get the fuel moving as you learn all the ropes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys, we're getting a business masterclass here. People pay for this stuff. I'm getting it for free, but I really appreciate it. Okay,
Ibibitin ko yan, Alec, para
hindi pa lahat. Part lang yung ituturo ni Sir Steve. Okay. Sige, before I get into the business, I want to transition first dun sa balik tayo sa 4Ps. Pangatlong sinabi mo is people. And I think that's really interesting for me because people parang sinasabi nga ng mga tao na I think I read a quote that says, if you wanna have a good business, take care of your people because your people take care of your clients and your customers. But I want to hear on your side, when you talk about people, why are people one of the most important factors in a business?
It is bottom line. Kasi ano ba mas importante kung hindi tao? Ano ba mas importante? Ibabalik ko sa iyo.
Customers.
Customers, basically, who takes care of your customer?
Yeah. Or the team.
The team, tama.
The people. So how do you take care of people?
So there's a principle. When wealth is scattered, people gather. Diba? So even for great deals, we offer ESOP. So we offer stock options. We offer ownership to our employees.
For
they have to. Of course, there's a qualification and criteria that you have to be. But we offer that stock options, so you can be owner of the company, and at the same time have a boss.
Ang galing naman. Okay. So
and I think in the Philippines, less than 1% of a company offers that. But sa akin, kaya sabi ko, these are the things that I learn so that people can work together, have have a vesting interest,
Yeah.
have ownership of the company, marunong magpatay ng aircon kasi sayang kuryente,
Yeah.
kasi may malasakit sa kumpanya because you have ownership.
Hey guys, before we continue with this episode, let's hear a quick word from our sponsors. Hey guys, it's AC. And if you're a business owner, let me ask you, are you tired of juggling a million different tools just to run your business? From CRM, invoicing, contracts, it's really overwhelming, right? Well, that was me before I discovered Odoo. And that's when everything changed. Now, what is Odoo? Odoo is an all-in-one business management software that combines multiple apps into one single platform without the hassle of switching to different tools. And that's when everything changed for me. What I personally love about Odoo is that number one, CRM gives you clarity on your leads. You can see every lead, where they are in the pipeline, and what needs to happen next. No more missed follow-ups. Number two, sales turns deals into real revenue. Once a deal is ready, you can turn it into a quotation and a sale in just a few clicks. Everything stays connected to the client. Number three, project keeps execution organized. And after the sale, projects helps you manage the actual work, tasks, timeline, and accountability. So nothing falls through the cracks. So from lead, sale, to execution, Odoo keeps your business moving. And with that, let's get back to the episode. Why do you think not a lot of people here in the Philippines do that? Is it a culture kind of thing?
I think it's a learning thing eh.
Uh-huh.
No, that's why I share it so that pwede pala, pwede mangyari ganyan, so that people will have these are the things that I learned
Mhm.
outside of the Philippines. So when I travel, I learn these things, so I apply it.
Yeah. Okay. So number one, when wealth is scattered, people gather. Are there any other principles or tips on how to take care of your people?
Alam mo, sa totoo lang, Dale Carnegie, di ba? How you value them, how you take care of them, they will take care of you, di ba? Same principle, same biblical principles.
Yeah. What are some part of, okay, when it comes to people, I think of two things. Number one is attracting the right talent or recruiting the right people. And second is retaining them. I think
Nasa libro yan.
Okay. But can you give us like a quick insight on how do you attract the right people to join your team?
You recruit them.
You recruit them.
I'm a firm believer. Ang taong walang trabaho, hindi magaling yan eh. Kung magaling ka, may trabaho ka. So you have to recruit them.
Okay. You recruit them from other companies.
Of course. Good people are not vacant. Agree, disagree?
Agree.
Agree. So you have to show them the vision, where you're going, and if they want to join you on that vision or mission.
Yeah.
So I'm a recruiter. I do not poach, I recruit. Ibig sabihin, wala akong pakialam sa anong kumpanya. Kasi ang poaching, yung kinukuha mo sa isang kumpanya lang eh. Ako, I look for good talent, and then come join my team.
Yeah. If there is one person that, or can you name or enumerate, like, let's say from a startup and you want to build a good team, like who are the people that you want to first hire or recruit in your team?
Sige, secret advice, no? Recruit someone that will complement your weakness. So, what does it mean? I'm a salesperson. I'm not an accounting guy. Mahina ako dyan. So, I'll recruit a good accounting person. If I'm a very process-oriented person but I'm not a sales guy, I'll recruit sales. So, you build a team that will complement your weakness. Because you have your own strength na eh. Hindi pwedeng pares ang strength nyo. So, walang gumagawa ng weakness. So, to build a team, dapat hindi pwede puro point guard. May sentro. So, they know their roles. Right? Tama. Like, just like in sports.
Yeah. And
so, the question is what? Kung hindi, ano yung strength mo, go find the weakness that will complement. So, most of my team are way better than me. Because they need to be way better dun sa mga weakness ko, because I cannot be all to everyone. But I know my strength and I focus on my strength.
Yeah. Was there a time that you were trying to do everything before you had this kind of mindset, or early on pa lang alam mo na parang, oh, I have to recruit people?
Well, eto lang. My first employee was a graphic artist. Bakit? Wala akong alam mag-edit ng photo eh. At saka ng ano eh. So up to now, I don't know how to edit and everything, di ba? So, she is way better 3-5x in terms of, editing photos para ma-post sa mga platforms.
Okay.
No? So, doon pa lang sa unang hire ko, na maximize ko na yung value because I cannot do it.
And then you slowly just get people to parang hahanapin mo yung mga bagay na hindi ka magaling, tas yun you hire from that.
So totoo lang, you'll be a lot of things, especially when you're starting. You'll be all around naman talaga kasi wala ka pang budget and everything, di ba? So everything mediocre until you get your experts people and then you grow it and scale it.
Okay. All right. So on that topic, kanina you mentioned it na growth and scaling is very different. In a business, you can either grow or you can either scale. And for you, or can you share a little bit about that? Like,
so
what's
Alec,
the difference?
What is the difference between growth and scaling first?
Okay. Like, I think for me, growth is doubling down on parang maybe 2x. Kunyari, if let's say, medyo parang linear for me, ganun ko siya nakita. Pag sabi growth, we did let's say 1 million. Next month, let's try 1.5, 1.2 million. So, may growth. In terms of scaling, I think for me, it's like multiplication.
So, ano ibig sabihin ng fastest growing company kung growth lang kami?
Okay. All right. Sige.
You've never heard the fastest scaling company. You always hear fastest growing, di ba?
Yeah.
So, what's the difference between growth and scale?
Yeah.
To our listeners. Okay. Do you want to know the answer?
Yes, I want to know the answer. Please, teach us.
So, growth is your top line revenue grows, whatever percentage it is, but ang growth is your top line revenue grows, but your operational expense also grow. So that's growing. Scaling is your top line revenue is growing, but your OPEX is flat. That's scaling. And it's a different mindset when you're building the business. Kasi at the start of when I was building Great Deals, I was growing my business. To be recognized as the fastest growing Filipino company in the whole of Asia Pacific. But we were not scaling. Kasi ang solution ko dati, dagdag ng tao. So, puro dagdag OPEX rin. And then, I shifted this mindset almost 3 years ago. Now, we need to scale. We need to automate. We need to automate all of our process so that we keep on growing, but our OPEX flat. That's scaling. And when your OPEX is flat, you earn more. Agree, disagree?
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm getting mind blown, guys. Like, sobrang, I gotta dissect all the topics that's being talked about here. Okay. Growth. Thank you for sharing that. Now, one of my last questions. E-commerce. You've grown your success. You've grown your purpose through e-commerce. If someone hears this podcast and they say, like, okay, that's very interesting. Can I look? I'll look into the e-commerce space. Here in the Philippines, what's the status of e-commerce? Are we behind? Are we getting eaten by the big? Kunyari ako, sumali ako na wala na masyadong space dito kasi may Great Deals na, hindi na namin kaya talunin yan or hindi na kaya namin makasabay. What's the status and where is it heading in the future?
Okay. E-commerce is only 4% of total retail sales sa Pilipinas.
No. Talaga? Kahit ang lakas na Lazada at Shopee.
So compared to China, it's around 40+%. We can still 10x our industry.
Okay. In this landscape.
That's data. That's data.
Yeah.
That's actual data.
Kahit dito sa Pilipinas.
No, we're talking about Pilipinas lang.
Okay.
We're talking Pilipinas. we're only, maybe sabihin natin for this year, 4.5 to 5% of total retail sales kasi it's growing naman. But still long ways to go.
Mhm. And if someone wants to get into the e-commerce space, how can they start?
Ay, alam mo, we're living in a age of information eh. Everything is available online. Even you can just ask ChatGPT, sasagot na yan eh. It's more of how you execute it eh.
And how can you develop that execution? How can you get
It's learning. It's learning. It's doing the business. And sa akin, entrepreneurship is a calling. Not everyone is called to be entrepreneurs.
Mm.
That's the reality in life. No? So I think importante for our listeners, know where you are called.
Mm. Yeah.
Hindi ko alam kung na-share ng kapatid ko to, yung job, yung career. Hindi ba yan na-share? Ako na lang mag-share, brother.
Okay.
Diba? Katulad ni ma'am dito. Diba? Anong name mo, ma'am? Si May.
Bea.
Bea.
Yeah.
Anong job ni Bea?
Our video specialist.
Video specialist, diba? I shared it in our town hall meeting. Sabi ko, all of you have a job. Tama? But some will call it their career. A job versus a career, a difference ng mindset ng individual is a career is something long term.
Yeah.
I want to develop this career for me to be But then we have to put it another mindset. It is a calling. My work is a calling. It's not just a job. It's not just a career for long-term development. It's where God has called me. So ang tanong ko, where has God called you in your life? As an entrepreneur, as someone in the corporate world, as a video specialist? Kasi if you are called, you know you're called, wala. Yung klase ng trabaho ibibigay mo, hindi. Ang job kasi transactional. 8 to 5 lang ako, boss. Tama? Ang career, kailangan ko i-develop yung sarili ko para gumaling pa ako sa career na gusto ko. Pero ang calling, kahit anong mangyari, ito na yung tawag ko sa akin. Kahit may nag-offer sa akin ng 2x na sweldo, I'm called to be here, I'm called to do this work, iba yung impact nun. Yeah. So you as the leader of the company, how would you shift the mindset of your people from a job to a career to a calling?
Thank you so much for that. That's I'll reflect on that later. Napaisip ako doon na, oh my gosh, sino dito yung for job lang? Charot. Sino dito yung pang career lang, hindi calling. Mag-usap tayo doon. No, but thank you. I think that's really insightful. I think now it's clear for me as well. Yun nga, yung mga 8 to 5, very transactional because they see it as a job. If they see it as a career, they might get into a little bit of training, skills, upskilling para gumaling. But if it's a calling, there's a bigger reason.
This is a culture thing. Bottom line, what's the culture that you're building for your company? Then you can have this kind of ownership, this kind of zeal, because you have a bigger vision. So when people are motivated, they work. Yeah. They'll even work more than that. Parang they work more. Parang sila may-ari ng kumpanya.
Yeah.
Diba? And you've seen a lot of people na ganun ng work attitude.
Yeah. But it's their calling as well, and as well as like the culture that allows them to do that. So thank you for sharing that, and thank you again for everything that you have shared here. I've enjoyed this, and I'm really looking forward to be a part of your your faith-based mentorship. Sir Steve, you're really an inspiration. I mean, one of my good friends, si RD as well. Shout out RD kung nakikinig ka. Talagang kayo ang lodi rin niya. So a lot of my e-commerce friends, kayo talaga ang pinaka look up nila. And I'm just really honored to have you on the show. It's a pleasure
having me in this podcast also.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Final piece of advice for maybe the people in their 20s. Like, what's the number one piece of advice that you can give if they're starting out their careers, they're getting into the workspace, they're a starting entrepreneur? What's the number one piece of advice that you can give them?
It's okay to fail. Failure is an event. It is not a person.
there you have it. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Sir Steve, maraming salamat po
Thank
ulit.
you.
Yeah. And again, guys, wala pa yun compared sa mga sa mga nakasulat dito sa librong to. And hopefully, again, if you want to check this out, the links are below. You can check it out. Lazada, Shopee, and all the other websites. We're going to put it down below. Again, this is such an amazing episode. And if you have entrepreneur friends, you have business owner friends, share it to them because they're going to learn a lot from this. If you guys enjoy this, click that like button, click that subscribe button. But again, I'm just really thankful for everyone who's been supporting the podcast, everyone na hanggang ngayon nakikinig pa rin. Maraming salamat. You guys are the lifeline of this podcast. Di ko to gagawin kung tuloy-tuloy ko itong gagawin as long as meron kahit isang nanonood. So, thank you guys so much. And again, Sir Steve, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alec.
And that's it for this episode. My name is Alec Cuenca. This is Small Talk, Small Conversations with Huge Impact. And I will see you guys next episode. Peace.